Keen to find out, the government webpage crashed. When things, though, did become clear, it revealed only 3 places in the whole country will be in the lowest tier. Our health correspondent Catherine Jones has all the details. Well, let's remind ourselves then of exactly what these tiers actually mean. Well, the Prime Minister led a briefing at Downing Street this evening. Let's go straight to our political editor, Andy Bell. And Andy, he did acknowledge these measures will be tough.
He did, Danny, but he was also...
And Andy, the Chief Medical Officer was with him there. He had something to say about what we should and shouldn't do come Christmas. Well, let's look in greater detail now at some of the places in these tiers. Perhaps one of the biggest gear changes is for Kent. Before lockdown, it was under the most relaxed rules. Now, just a month later, it's heading into the toughest. Layla Hayes has been to find out what that means for people and businesses there. Well, as some areas see change, others appear completely stuck. Greater Manchester will return to the strictest rules when lockdown ends next week, meaning the region will have been under local restrictions for a third of the year. One pub owner there has called it heartbreaking, as Catherine Jacob reports. Well, let's take a moment now for a sobering reminder of just why all these restrictions are necessary. Well, moving away from England, Scotland's First Minister has outlined the nation's Christmas coronavirus restrictions. Like the rest of the... Well, throughout this pandemic, we've seen the UK nations operate their own individual restrictions, tier systems and lockdowns. For Scotland, though, it's perhaps been a taste of the independence Nicola Sturgeon promised in her own election manifesto. Well, let's go live now to Edinburgh and speak to Alan Jenkins. Alan, of course, it is the Scottish National Party's conference coming up soon. Does independence feature alongside the pandemic? First Minister of Scotland, Nicola Sturgeon, there speaking to Alan Jenkins. Coming up on 5 News tonight, we'll see you after the break. Welcome back. You're watching 5 News tonight. Lockdowns are tough on us all. Life gets a little bit lonelier, maybe feels a little bit smaller. But for people who care for others who are ill or have disabilities, it's made life nearly impossible. Cut off from respite services, millions of people have been left to cope all alone. And now a charity is warning they're at breaking point. Well, earlier I spoke to Elaine, who looks after her husband, who has multiple sclerosis, and Helen Walker, Chief Executive of the charity Carers UK. I began by asking Elaine what life has been like. Incredible struggle, not just emotionally, but financially too.
Yes.
Desperate situation. And Helen, sadly, Elaine's story is not unfamiliar. Carers are not getting the help they need, are they? What are you hearing? Isn't it, Elaine? You're trying to look after your husband, make sure he gets the best care, and you're also trying to pay the bills.
Yes.
Isn't it, Helen? People shouldn't have to feel guilty about getting help. I'd like to see happen next. What help do you need? Person, let's just hope that things pan out well for you. We wish you the very best, Elaine. Thank you very much. And
thank you.
other news now. A former Great Ormond Street Hospital porter has been charged with 84 counts of sex offences against children. There have been emotional scenes in Argentina as 3 days of national mourning began for footballing hero Diego Maradona. His coffin lies in the presidential palace, where supporters paying their respects have been overcome with grief. Maradona, who captivated fans all over the world, is remembered for his magic on the pitch and the challenges he faced off it, as Simon Bygar reports. Finally, over lockdown, 7 babies were born over 7 different months, each the child of a nurse, all working at the same hospital. Well, that's all from us for now. Claire Nazir has the weather next, and Sharon Thomas will have the updates throughout the evening. But from all the team, thanks very much for watching. Have a lovely evening and good night.